Hello folks, I'm Victor First Mornington and welcome to episode 7 of the Mind Probe, the weekly review show from the Doctor Who Expo. That's the Katrina region in Second Life, where we review the latest episode of the current series of Doctor Who. Joining me as the regular panel, we've got Mr. Ezzy McAlpine, Mr. PC101 Flo, we've got Marine Dalek, and we've got Nodstar. Say hello, chaps.
Hello.
Hello, chaps.
Also joining us is two guests, yes, not just one. We've pulled out the stops this time. We've got two. We've got Titsuryu and we've got Rational, who's a female.
It's a lie! There are no females on the internet!
Anyway.
No, just your mum.
But it's true. She's on Facebook.
Anyway,
My mum, that is.
this is episode 7, reviewing episode 7. A good man goes to... I almost said dude there. I just said it, didn't I? Good Man Goes to War, which is the mid-season cliffhanger finale. So the next current Doctor Who show won't be until sometime in autumn. We all know what the score is, how we do these mind probes. We go from person to person to get their general idea about what they thought of the latest episode, starting with Nodstar.
Yes! No! I'd just like to say, Ezzy, your theory has failed. And now
well, it hasn't for me.
Me.
It's right for me, isn't it? Worked out nicely again.
General thoughts on the episode. Well, I actually quite liked it.
What's that it?
You liked
let's
it,
just
that's
keep this
it.
episode short.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything, so we'll go with that.
Oh yeah, by the way, in case people are wondering why there's a rather cute blue bear standing inside a Dalek, that's actually our third silent guest, who's Cobalt Neutra. Cobalt can't say hello, but he'll just stand there looking cute. So, Nodstar thought it was good. So who am I going to pick on next? We'll pick one of the special guests. Rational!
Oh, thank you. I thought it was good. It didn't really cover a whole lot, and it was a little chaotic to begin with, and ended on a good note.
Marine?
Ditto.
You're not getting away with that. You're not getting away with that.
No.
No, I enjoyed it. Yeah, of course. But yeah, it again, it was an episode that held my attention all the way through. It had a satisfying resolution, but still left an awful lot open to make you really want the end of the series to come quickly. So yeah, it was good.
Tetsuryu!
Well, all things considered, not an awful lot actually happened in this episode. I mean, so you got the Doctor gathering his army, then they completely humiliated the enemy, and then they just pretty much fought over Amy's baby for the rest of the episode, so yeah.
Good answer.
I did think that he kind of lost the train of thought at the very end of that. PC!
We are not impressed.
Oh, going to be interesting to get PC's score at the end of this. Mr. McAlpine, last but not least.
Hello. I thought there were some really funny moments in it. Because, it had the part with the bloke, the blue bloke, saying like, "Oh,
Don't use
why
up
do you
the
need me?" and
funny
stuff.
moments. That's later in the episode.
I know. I'm saving it. I thought there were some funny moments in it. Yeah, all right. Maybe not much substance there, regards to storyline, but characters. Yeah, I thought it was good. I liked some of the new bad guys who've been introduced, rather Star Warsy, but yeah, I thought it was a good episode. I didn't hate it like other people have. A lot of people are saying on the internet, it was crap, and it's too, there's nothing in it, blah 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 blah. But yeah, overall okay.
Well, since this is the mid-season finale, it's not the full season finale, it's the mid-season finale, we're going to have to latch on to the very end of what actually happened in that episode. A whole big deal was made about the reveal that the Doctor was going to get about who River Song actually was. Now, bearing in mind about all the crazy kooky thoughts of who River Song actually was, about 50% of the internet turned out to be totally right. So, just skipping the whole storyline, which was like 40 minutes before the big reveal, the last 5 minutes, River Song's resolution of who she actually is. Are you happy with this resolution, Ezzy?
No.
Why?
Well, it was pretty bloody obvious. Excuse my language. It was quite obvious. I always thought, river, pond, pond, river. You know, there's going to be a link with that somehow. You know, with the whole sort of water thing. I didn't think it was particularly. It wasn't hidden very, well. It was too obvious.
Shocking.
You know, yeah. I wasn't shocked by oh my god, that's a big thing. You know, I mean, it was nice to finally know who she is. Put it that way, but it wasn't the big shock reveal though.
Yeah, true. Nod star.
Excellent. This is where I say my piece. Right, okay. First off, I just want to say this to Mr. Moffat. You could have shocked everyone by it not being Amy Pond's daughter. That would have been fantastic, because then I would have been right on that count. On the second count, it could have been a Dalek baby. Seriously. Come on.
Oh, God.
What? It's outlandish as your whole thing about the Auton thing.
Well, yes.
And
But
don't
I'm allowed
get me
to be
started on the
outlandish.
Omega thing, which Vic brought up.
No, the Omega thing was good. But we want outlandish, and I wanted a Dalek baby. Can we have that for season 8, please?
No.
Cheers.
No. No more f***ing Daleks.
More Daleks. Well,
No!
Other than that, it was pretty predictable. As Vic says, after the internet was right already. I was really hoping that it wasn't going to be the case, and everyone would have been wrong. But that wasn't the case, so, oh well, never mind.
True. PC!
Well, as I said, I was not impressed. We saw that coming from the very first episode when we speculated, is the girl in the astronaut suit, could that be River Song? Because we didn't know it was a child or whatnot. So, I mean, we were guessing that the child was River Song from the very first episode. So it didn't exactly come out of nowhere. I spent the whole episode sitting there looking at the clock going, because they piped it up like some epic, I mean, I swear to God I think they used the word epic on the BBC sort of promo thing before the show starts.
Yeah, they did.
And I'm sitting there watching the clock going, right, okay, when's this going to happen? I just kept looking at the clock thinking, is tick, 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 nothing's happening. The whole episode was just boring. I was like, come on. I wasn't boring, but it was waiting for this epicness to happen. And then it got to the end and I was like, that's it. I already knew that. Well, it wasn't confirmed, but I pretty much knew. We all pretty much sort of guessed it, but not impressed.
Rational.
I kind of understand what PC's saying. I think like the beginning was kind of like a sleight of hand kind of thing. Like, let's distract your attention and waste a bunch of time until we get to the real point of the entire episode with, all these different people, the doctor getting all his gang together to go attack these people. But I mean, I still liked it, but I don't know. I kind of had wished that River had been like more of a romantic interest than a child of, I don't know.
Tetsuryu!
Well, I'm gonna have to agree that River Song being revealed to be Amy's baby was totally predictable, but it does kind of raise some interesting questions, namely in regards to that regenerating little girl we saw earlier in the series and her death in Silence in the Library.
And last but by no means least, Mr. Marine.
What the hell is everyone's problem?
I gave it a positive review. I was alright with it.
I think there's a balance always that is struck between having something that's foreshadowed and a logical step forward and something that comes completely out of the blue and everyone complains about. River Song is the doctor's wife's housemaid. Where did that come from? It's a bit like with soaps, like people watch soaps, and soaps are even worse for spoilers than Doctor Who is. All the TV magazines have like the next 3 months of plot for each soap practically laid out.
And Marine would know this.
It's not so much knowing about what's going to happen, it's actually seeing it happen.
I agree.
And I think the reactions and the interactions that happen because she is Amy's daughter are going to be more interesting than just knowing who she is.
Dalek baby would have been better.
Marine, here we go with the Dalek baby. Marine, you should be a politician or something, you really should. Anyway, moving on. Well, since there's so many people on the panel, I'm going to do an open speak your mind without jumping to different names. This is going to be a rather long episode, by the way, folks. Right. The one thing that I did pick up on this particular episode is the increasing dark side of the Doctor that seems to be appearing more and more as Matt Smith's tenancy, I almost said tenant, Matt Smith's tenancy of being the Doctor goes on. Number one, the Doctor got angry. We seen that when he was shouting at Mr. Runaway Colonel Dude, and the Silurian noticed that he was angry. Number two, the Doctor amassed an army. He literally got an army. He also exploded a massive fleet of cyber warship doodah thingy bobs in space just to prove a point to the Cybermen that he meant business. And number three, and this is the interesting part, he was told about all this by Melody, River Song, that the whole reason that this is going on is because everyone is becoming scared of the Doctor. It looks like the Doctor's past, all the deeds that he's done from the classic series all the way through the current series going up to the present, is starting to catch up with him, which ties in to what was said in episode 1 of this series. He's been running faster than ever before and it's time to stop running. Are we seeing, maybe sometime at the end of this season, the dark side of the Doctor coming to the fore, which would lead up to him getting shot in episode 1? Or am I just talking a load of absolute crap? Right, open discussion. Dark side of the Doctor, will there be a resolution, or will this carry on till we see the Valiant pop up?
It'd be nice to obviously have the Valiant back, but, you know, people are saying on the internet that there is an old enemy coming back and he's sort of working against him and blah, 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 blah. Whether that's the actual case, I don't know. But yeah, there's definitely sort of some elements of Troughton, the second Doctor coming through, sort of getting a bit tetchy and angry and stuff like that. So I do see that. And also McCoy as well.
And the first, Hartnell.
To be
I
honest,
saw that in
to be
his
honest-
flesh version also.
To be honest, I quite like this dark side of him.
I do.
Can I say something here right now? Did anyone else notice that the army flag, the Colonel Runaway's army flags, had the Omega symbol?
Yup.
Yes.
Yeah, Alpha Omega, sign of the church.
Yeah, so it's kind of
Which means the
perfect.
end.
And the beginning.
But yeah, they were religious nuts, weren't they? So it makes sense in that context. So it's probably just pitching too deep.
But I mean, as far as the Doctor's dark side goes, the way I saw the end sequence was basically River/Melody saying, let's call her River from now on, it's easier, just warning the Doctor, like telling the Doctor, you have gone too far. I mean, he's already sort of gone there with Waters of Mars, but I don't think he's going to keep going dark. I think he's going to go the other way, which is why my personal feeling is that when he gets shot, it's him having his own death faked, so that the universe thinks he's gone away, so that he can then carry on travelling discreetly.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I don't
So I
actually think, Amy and Rory are going to be in... I mean, this is just me thinking from... I don't think they're going to be in Series 7.
7.
I don't think so either.
No. They're getting that sort of distinct feeling that this ending... I mean, I could be completely proved wrong, but, obviously if they're going to have a kid and stuff like that to look after, I don't think they're going to have that,
They got to
Going
find
on
the
as well.
kid first.
Yeah.
I mean,
Involves-
with Rory dying, it's getting a bit like South Park anyway. So that
He is the kid, yeah.
True.
Although he has stopped dying, and I've noticed over the past few episodes, everyone's been like, "What kind of an episode was that? Rory didn't even die." So
although
Rory
So,
didn't
it is a
die.
bit
he's
of a
also,
non-meme
he's also
saying he's
now.
grown a pair as well. You know what I'm saying?
I have to ask, how many times has he actually died this series so far?
3 or 4?
Something like that.
His death was faked in the first one,
We'll class that as a death.
Died in the Doctor's wife.
but he didn't die. And anyway, all of them died in the first one, so that averages out. So he isn't even ahead in death.
No. We'll class it as a death.
We're going to rate
Out
this
of
like an
existence.
opera.
But we'll class it as a death simply because I still have to have him die 12 times.
I
In that
don't think
bed.
that's going to happen now, no.
I think he needs to die about 8 times in the next 6
Taking
episodes.
wagers on this.
I reckon Nod's going to be, like, fast-forwarding, rewinding the point where he, Thingy Bob dies just to count up to 12. He'll be like, oh, there he dies. Oh, there he dies again. Oh, there he dies.
And in fact, I will YouTube that part just so I can prove a point, okay?
Oh dear. Moving on. Before we go into the favourite bit to wrap up the show, before we get the scores, we all know what Marine score's going to be, but we'll do the scores anyway just for the laugh of it. here is an idea I've stolen from another podcast, and I think it's the Doctor Who podcast, called the Cookie Theory of the Week. Now, Cardinal Runaway said that the clergy mainframe, so whoever's running the Headless Monks is a mainframe, it's a computer. Some people have been suggesting that what happened in Silence in the Library when River Song gets sucked into the library computer and is there for eternity, what happens is this. River Song takes control of the mainframe, right? Sets up her own religion called the Headless Monks, which then end up trying to kill the Doctor. That's the latest theory I've heard, and actually I think it's going to come true. Yeah.
Yeah, but you thought Omega was going to be in this episode.
Hold
He
on,
was.
hold on. That is almost as screwed up as my theory on Amy's baby being a baby Dalek.
No, but think about it. They said that whoever's running the Headless Monks was a mainframe. It's a computer. River Song is in one of the most powerful computers there is, the mainframe of the library. She's got a strong will. She takes over the mainframe, sets up her own religion, goes crazy, and it turns out that she's the one that's behind the Headless Monks. I think it works.
I have a better theory. You're full of shit.
There's
were you
another
saying,
theory
Liz?
going around that River Song is that Madame Kavorian, whatever it is, the one with the eye patch lady.
Eye patch lady. Yeah.
Or
So
it could be
what?
Wotan.
Huh? That just makes no sense at all.
Almost as much sense as everyone being Autons, Nod.
That made sense, alright? It made sense.
Didn't
in
make
my
sense,
perfect
doesn't
little
make
world.
sense now.
Wait. Do we know who the lady with the eye patch is and why they're stealing the baby?
Nope. We know that
Trying
they're
to
stealing
turn
the
the
That's
baby.
baby.
something that's still left
As
there.
a
Yeah.
weapon. The
well,
baby's
we
a
do
weapon.
know why.
Right,
just
we know
don't
that,
who she
but-
is.
Yeah.
She must be working for somebody higher up, and I still think it's
Yeah,
Omega,
that's what
to
I
be
think.
honest.
The other
Yeah, well,
guy.
I'm gonna go with.
There
I'm gonna
must
go
be a
with.
guy in charge, mustn't there? She's not the one in charge, huh?
Yeah, damn right. I'm gonna go with Vic on this and say it is Omega.
Oh
I hope
God,
it's
I've got
someone
Nod in my
completely
sight.
new.
Me too.
I don't know. I just still don't think that Omega would be an interesting enough villain for Stephen Moffat to choose
Black Guardian.
as a villain. I don't think Stephen Moffat would choose Omega. I know it would be interesting for the fans, but I don't think Stephen
Sudak.
Moffat would choose Omega.
It's the master.
Sutek, yeah.
Yeah, why not? I mean, he did say that but the Doctor imprisoned Sutek, that he would basically direct him into thousands of years into the future.
Oh.
Are we actually going to find out who the little girl is that regenerates this season?
Probably in the future
thought that was kind
sometime.
of obvious already.
Because I'm going to give a few people a note card with my thought on who it really is, or how she comes to be. And then when it happens, I can say I'm right.
Well, the assumption at the moment is that it's River, because they're sort of talking about, this baby that was conceived in the TARDIS, could it even regenerate? So the implication is there that
Part-time.
it's River.
Yeah, so I'm going with an assumption that it's not.
Well,
Just
moving
sounds to be
on.
different. Difficult, in fact.
Yeah, it is. Moving on, we're on to the favourite bit of the episode before we do the whole review thing, so we'll keep the review till after as always, because with the review goes the worst part of the episode, but this time round it's the favourite bit of the episode, your most favourite part, or your most funny moment, and since PC didn't like this episode at all, we'll start with PC.
Hang on, before you do that, I just want to point
What?
out, yeah, in the orphanage there were pictures of that kid with Amy. So, unless Amy has another kid later on. I'm sorry, PC, do you want to go on?
Righty. My favourite part was the bit when River Song starts describing him as a sort of warrior, saying that all these people are now knowing the word doctor meaning warrior rather than someone with the heals. I like that big speech sort of thing that River gave the doctor. That's my favourite bit.
Actually, I'm with PC. I may as well just go just now. That was my favourite bit. The Doctor getting taken down a peg or two. The funny bits were funny, but that speech by River just clinched it for me. Really did. Okay, I know Mr. McAlpine is champing at the bit to say his most funny bit, so Ezzy, hit
Can
it.
I say mine?
Oh,
Can
God
I say
forbid.
mine? I like the bit where the Sontaran was going to give the... No, I'll let Eddie do it.
Oh.
Okay, Ezzy.
Fine. I wasn't going to say that one anyway, because I've got several funny bits. I mean, I could screw you all over by saying all of them. To the people who are now racking their brains thinking, what the hell am I going to say? What the hell am I going to say when it's my turn?
Just
I might
one.
just preempt it and...
Just one.
Just one. The sigh of
See-
disappointment.
I know, because there's good parts. I'll leave that little gem for Marine to do, okay? But I liked. There's a tiny little bit where the guy, what's his name, Mister, the blue guy, because he goes on about he's raising an army,
Dorian.
blah 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 blah. Dorian,
Yeah.
Dorian, something like that. He waddles out, and he goes, and if you
He's let himself go a bit since Birds of a Feather, actually.
yeah, just a tad. But I think it's funny where he says, if you find a blue box waiting outside, pray it's not, he's not coming for you and stuff. And then he waddles outside, and he just the TARDIS starts appearing. He goes, "No, you don't want me. You don't want me. I'm bald. I'm fat. I'm blue." I love that.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
But why? If you're blue, are you really going to see that as a problem? I mean, I don't know.
Racism. Intergalactic racism.
Moving on, Marine.
I like the bit that was in slightly bad taste, which was at the beginning when Rory goes to try and collect River, and she's just coming back from her birthday party where Stevie Wonder was
Oh God.
playing for her, the Doctor Stevie Wonder. And Rory says, "What, Stevie Wonder played in the 1800s?" She says, "Yes, but you must never tell him."
That's good, that.
Rational.
I like the beginning, the Marine couple. Thin, fat, married, gay Anglican Marines.
Yeah. See, there's so many funny bits in it. You're all laughing about it, aren't you? If you think about
Yeah,
it, there's some
it is.
funny bits in it, which
There's a lot of
I
funny
enjoyed.
bits.
I liked it for that. It didn't take itself too seriously, but when it had to be serious, it was very serious. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt. Please continue.
Tetsuryu.
The Sontaran.
It's got to be the Centauri.
The nurse.
Go on then, Tets. You got to do an impersonation of him.
No, I can't, because I can't remember the lines exactly.
Ezzy will help you.
No, I'm not, because the thing being,
Yes, he
this
will.
is actually being recorded right now, and this in Second Life it has this ability to make what's called a gesture, which is formulated by recording someone, editing it, uploading it to SL, and then playing it at bad moments, so people get reminded of what they said when they're being recorded.
There you go, Tess. You can read
Yes.
it. Read it from the cue card. See it?
No, I'm not going to say that line. I'd rather prefer the line where he basically says, "I will meet you in glorious battle where I shall crush your skull, but for now, have some rest."
Yeah.
So yeah, basically the Centauran. And last but by no means least, Nodstack.
Well, there's so bloody many. Alright, I'm going to go for the Cyberman bit, where Rory knocks on the door and says, "I have a question and a message." And then all the ships blow up and he says, "Do you want me to repeat the question?" Or something like that. I thought that was a bit quality.
Yes, that's yes.
Can I just jump in quickly? And, I want to say, throughout this sort of series of Mind Probe and stuff, I think I've been rather hard on the gingers. The people with ginger hair, they've had a hard time from me. Okay?
Why
I'm
do
gonna
I think
formally
I'm going to
apologise
get
to
hit here
everyone.
again?
No, you're not going to get hit. I mean, I know you're ginger in real life and stuff, and that shouldn't be,
I am not
it's not a
ginger.
problem. I don't have a problem with you being ginger. I don't go, Nod's ginger and don't want to talk to you. But, moving on, I do want to come out with an apology here, but I do also
Only
have to
parts
point
of him
out.
are.
Well, yeah, I have to point out in this episode, there was one part where Amy goes down and kisses the baby. Now, the baby's nice and happy and stuff before she does that. If you just imagine the baby lying there, and you've got this person, all I can see is big ginger hair and stuff coming down towards you, you're going to scream, aren't you?
Oh God.
No, I'm sorry, ginger. Oh God, it makes me sound like a bad person hating on the gingers and stuff. Gingers,
That was another
I don't
funny
hate.
part. He spoke baby.
But-
I thought that was kind of cute.
Ezzy, you are a bad person.
I just want to add to Ezzy's entire statement there. My avatar has brown hair, not ginger hair. Don't base me and my real life hair on my avatar. Just because you really do have ginger hair, Ezzy.
I would
Actually,
like
We
to-
know. How would
Yeah,
we know?
well, here we go. Someone's going to say it.
Actually,
Absolutely,
no.
picture.
Right now, your avatar's actually a Dalek with a cute bear inside it.
Okay, I've got grey hair.
Anyway, moving on to wrap this show up. The rating preceded by the worst part of the show. The part that you didn't like, that you wish Stephen Moffat didn't bother doing in the episode. So that first, then the rating. PC's been really, really, really critical of this episode, so we'll start with PC.
The Spitfires. I thought they were just real. I mean, yes, as part of his history, sort of from the series, bring it back. But it just seemed really out of place. I mean, where did they go back to World War II, teleport 2 Spitfires to the TARDIS, then travel back there in space, drop off the teleport them out the TARDIS because there's no way they're going to fit through the door. Stay, right, you guys, sit in the asteroid belt for a while, and when I give you a shout, come in and start shooting at the asteroid that we're inside. Alright? See you later. How about the fact he's left those 2 guys in the Spitfires? He's went off on his journey, he's left those Spitfires out there. They're just going to die and suffocate to death.
That's optimistic, isn't it?
And your rating, PZ.
I mean, it wasn't awful, but it wasn't average, and so I'm going to give it a 2.
Oh.
Wow.
Marine's not gonna like that. Rational.
Oh God. I guess what PC said, but really don't have anything that I really hated about it. What's the highest ranking? 4, right?
5.
5.
5. Oh well.
Oh, dreams.
I will give it a 4.
You just said there was
I
nothing
don't-
there you liked. So you've just given it above average.
No, there's nothing I hated. There wasn't anything I hated or disliked that greatly about it.
There was
So,
nothing you liked, so that would be an
but it
average.
wasn't phenomenal. I mean, it wasn't like the best episode ever. Or it wasn't phenomenal. But I agree with you on your point about the Spitfires. But yeah, I give it a 4.
No 5 so far. Mr. McAlpine.
I'm trying to think of parts I hated. There's no part I actually really detested. I'm trying to think of a part where I actually sort of cringed or anything. Or, I mean, yeah, all right. The Spitfires were a bit pushing it. You know, I admit that, but I didn't really go, ooh, they don't belong here. It's a preposterous notion. Blah 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 blah. I don't actually think I actually hated any particular moment of it. I don't know.
like that
I mean, I
part.
would say I enjoyed it because of the comedy value, and like I said earlier, it was sensible when it needed to be sensible. You know, you saw some really sort of dark moments in it as well, and for that, I'm going to give it a 4 because yes, it was. I think better than average. It wasn't like epic. We were going to remember this one forever and ever and ever. You know, obviously it had a good reveal and stuff like that, but ultimately it was a predictable reveal. Yeah, so I'll give it a 4.
This is interesting. There's still no 5. Nodster.
Well, the only part that I was disappointed by was the whole River Song Amy Pond's daughter reveal bit. I was kind of disappointed simply because it was her and we all knew it anyway. The other part that I was a bit iffy about was the baby melting. That was a bit overboard, really, in my opinion. But
It was kind of relevant though, wasn't it? Obviously the game.
yeah, it was
and stuff like that.
relevant, but I don't know. It's a baby. Need I say any more? Really,
Yeah.
it's kind
It's
of
a
a bit
baby.
freaky.
That happens before they turn into children, then before humans. Sorry, adults. You know.
Well done, Izzy.
Yeah.
Suddenly learned
I
the meaning of
studied
life.
at school.
Really? You sure about that?
Yes, Ezzy apparently learnt that babies happen before they turn into humans.
Yes.
God.
Don't we all know that? You know, they are in actual fact some weird life form before they.
Always
Okay.
born.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you
How
know.
girl gets pregnant.
And your final score, Mr. Nodster.
Let's see. Should I go 5? No, I'll go 4.
This is bloody surprising. I thought it'd be a 5 all the way through. Right, we've had PC, we've had Rational, we've had Ezzy, we've had Nod. Marine, this is bound to be a 5.
Again, this is not really anything that I dislike. Again, the Danny Boy thing, I was like, oh no. That was almost verging on something that RTD might have done. Let's bring back one of the silliest characters from the previous season. That was something RTD always liked to do. But apart from that, it was enjoyable. There was solid dialogue all the way through. The plot was a bit of a scaffolding plot. It was actually an episode where, I don't know, there wasn't much meat to the plot, but it, like I say, solid dialogue and very good acting. Especially Karen Gillan doing the horror of Amy when her baby melts at the end, and the anger towards the Doctor and River Song at the end. I thought that was very well acted. I'm not going to give it a 5 because I haven't heard Vix yet, but I'm going to give it a 4.5.
He didn't give it a 5. I'm shocked.
I would-
On that.
No,
Yeah.
I'd like to see how he's 4, 4, 4, 4, 2, and 4.5 is going to average 5 somewhere.
On that bombshell of Marine score, last but by no means least, Tetsuryu.
Well, on the same lines, with the sudden and completely pointless of Danny Boy and all, there was also the reappearance of the pirate captain and his son. But the last time we saw them, the kid was on life support. So how did they exactly get there? Because they were stuck in another dimension as well, and we never saw any of those characters at the end. So did they all die at the hands of the headless monks or something? Which would be quite a bit of a downer, really. And on that remark, there is also the headless monks, which were, to be honest, I thought they were a pretty lame, gimmicky monster.
Sorry, you say like they're lame and gimmicky monster. What about the macra, the giant crabs? Not that they're relevant to this particular episode, but
Yeah, but they didn't have their necks tied in a knot. Jeez, that was just too weird.
And Daleks, big blobs in a metal can with a stalk on the top.
Yeah, but
If that's not gimmicky, I don't know what is.
I mean, like we've never seen these creatures before, and they're played in with such a big time that.
Stephen Moffat introduces new character to series.
Actually,
Shock.
they were mentioned before, but they were only mentioned. They were never seen.
Yeah.
The big museum, the
The
final
knots on
resting
their
place of
necks
the headless
just-
monks.
I don't know, that's weird.
Anyway, Tit, your final score.
4.
Another 4?
Yeah.
This is absolutely shocking. Well, for me, the worst bit, I've got to actually agree with Tets, that the headless monks were built up by Colonel Runaway to be the ultimate warrior type dude, and they basically all got slaughtered. Mostly, for the most part, they got slaughtered, so they weren't really all that bloody good. It was good premise, good premise, good idea, good thought, a little bit of a tie-in with the whole museum scene when at the beginning, at last season, with the whole final resting place of the headless monks. But to me, they were sorely wasted on Stephen Moffat's part. He could have done a whole lot more with the headless monks as an actual monster. But all things aside, the story was good, sort of. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't really excellent. It was good. The story was good. The plot was fast-paced. I didn't really like the dark edge of the Doctor too much because he started to get a little bit kind of angry man in their
Tenanty.
face. But yeah, actually, he did actually start to get a bit tenanty. But overall, as a mid-season cliffhanger to get people hooked to tune back in on Autumn for the next episode, I thought this was good. As such, I'm giving this a 5.
what did Marine give it? What did Marine give it?
4.5.
Controversial.
I was giving it a 4.5 because I didn't want to be the person who always gives it a 5. But if Vic's giving it a 5,
Nope, sorry, you can't
I
change your
don't- I
score.
don't know what to do.
Nope, you can't change your score.
Oh, can't change your score.
I
Sorry.
just want to point out that even with Vic's 5 and your 4.5, it's still not going to average 5.
It's not because PC gave it
No.
a 2.
well, no, but yeah,
I don't know, let's ask Ezzy to do the math.
Oh god,
Let's
we give it a
not.
date.
No.
Yeah,
4
we're pretty
plus
much
4
bugging.
plus 4 is
1.
900.
So,
9,000!
the scores we've had is 2 from PC, 4 from Rational, 4 from Ezzy, 4 from Nod. Marine gave it a 4.5, Tech gave it a 4, and I gave it a 5. What's the average, Marine?
Hang on a minute, I can't work that out properly.
Okay.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Oh no, there were 7 of us, not 6. That's why it hasn't worked out.
So there we go, folks. On that bombshell of me giving it a 5 and Marine not giving it a 5, I've actually ended up with an average of 4, which is pretty damn good. It's a Cyberman. That's it for the final episode of the Mind Probe that's reviewing the current series. But in the
Yes,
gap in between, yes, what?
Can I just say that I really, really regret making the over 9,000 joke? I can't believe I just did that. I'm so sorry.
And I would like to apologise to the Gingers once again, unreservedly.
Just because you are a ginger.
But what we're going to do for the break between the seasons is we're going to start looking at older episodes of Doctor Who from the classic series and maybe from the Tennant series, so I can just rant for half an hour because Tennant sucked.
baby.
But that's it for me, Victor First Mornington. We were joined by our three special guests, Cobalt Neutra, Rational Clarity, and Tetsuro Vladovic. Say goodbye, Pete.
Goodbye.
Son off!
We were also joined by the staff and regular hosts of the Mind Probe. I am Victor First Mornington, and we've also had Nodster TARDIS, Marine Dalek Tomorrow, PC 101 Flo, and Mr. Ezzy McAlpine. Say goodbye, chaps.
Goodbye. Sorry, Gingers.
Yeah.
Up yours.
Bye.
Ginger, why am I
Sorry,
saying that?
That's it from us, folks. So, don't forget to tune in 2 weeks' time, because what we're going to be doing is not having a review every week. It's going to be every 2 weeks until the last half of the current series comes on. In 2 weeks' time, we will be reviewing the 5 Doctors. So until then, have a good one, folks. Catch you later on.
As he is a king.
No, because we still have to record, so don't be altering your avatar text.